We're riding down the boulevard. We're riding through the dark night. We're half a tank and empty heart.
You're probably thinking, Kieran, what the hell are you doing? I'm sat on a bike in the middle of a field. I'll tell you what, this field where I live, there's so many dog walkers and they do my head in most of the time. I am part of the problem. I'm here in t-shirt and shorts. T-shirt? I don't have a lisp, but not if there's anything wrong with having a lisp, you know, pretty people and all that. But for the most part, it looks very sunny. It's about 7 degrees and I'm freezing my balls off. The wind is horrible. I just thought, you know, going on a nice little bike ride in the sun, it does brighten up your mood. And for me, I've chatted on about shit for so long, but I do look at things now, and when I look at the weather, it just does brighten up your day, doesn't it? Even if it is windy at the moment. It feels like for me, the last 6 months, I said it in a video over in the Pro Key, but for the last 6 months, I definitely did bury my head in the sand pretty much and try and punish myself for the shit I did over the last summer by relentlessly working hard and almost, especially job-wise, looking for an income. I've realised now I do need to have income to be able to enjoy or pursue my enjoyments, my hobbies and stuff like that, because it can lead to better things, bigger things. I don't want to have a summer where I'm just fucking sitting in the sun feeling like fuck, I could be on holiday now, doing something else, maybe doing a little vlog. But for the most part, I definitely did bury myself in the sand thinking, right, I'm gonna just focus on YouTube, focus on gym, running, everything I enjoy, and do this AI task on the side, which realistically wasn't sustainable. And now, I remember February, just before I went to Manchester, I went there, that was an eye-opening moment as well, of balance. Maybe telling people about YouTube is what relieved me, took the weight off my shoulders, I'm not sure. But I remember just before, the sun coming out, and me going on a bike ride, and I just thought, what are you, not what are you doing, but the way you've been acting over the winter arc and all that. I'm not saying I was depressed, but I was definitely like in the zone of burying my head in my sand and most of the time beating myself up of like, you gotta do better, you little shit, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I actually did make there's a video that will come out eventually on both channels, me in 5 years or whatever it was, and I remember that video was just, you won't be able to see it unfortunately at the moment, but I didn't really feel happy. And now the weather, I don't know whether it was the weather, whether it was just my mindset changing, I do look back at that and feel like those are the foundations I set for myself, but I could have done it in a way where I enjoy the grind. I feel like now I'm enjoying what I do more rather than just sticking my head in the sand saying I'm a piece of shit, you have to do this, you have to do that. Yes, I do naturally do it now, it's just a habit that I've built up for myself. I went on a fucking, I think I've done my knees in as well because I ran like 18k and fucked my legs, to be honest. I had like popping, if you've ever had that, in the Achilles heel, you know. Nearly pulled the Achilles, so I've had a few days off from that. 6 months ago, I'd be like, you can't fucking do that. I'm in the mode now of the routine doesn't necessarily have to be the same every day. You don't have to run every day in the morning, for example. Just do it whenever you can throughout the day. As long as everything gets done, that's fine. So I enjoy it more. And I don't know if that's because of the weather or whether that's just because of me changing and experience stuff. Even me growing out my hair. I think me growing out my hair was like a reflection of myself, of how I was feeling, of not necessarily not caring about myself, but like a haircut to me, I didn't need one, and I just was on that path of destruction of myself mentally and everything else. From outside point of view, it's like, oh yeah, he's probably, if you was watching me, I suppose, say if you're a fly on the wall, you'd be like, okay, he's doing YouTube, he's doing all this, he's always doing something, which I still do sort of do, but now with the sun and stuff, I'm able to appreciate things more and almost kick myself into gear, especially when I came back from Manchester. I was like, yeah, that was sick. I vlogged it on the Prokey channel and it was very good, so I thought I need more times like that. I've worked on myself the last 6 months and now I'm ready to get back to a better me, a new me. And there'll be some of you thinking, what a little wanker, shut the fuck up. But just expressing myself right here in the lovely sunshine with all the people watching me. No, there's no one there, but for the most part, it is pretty crazy. I'm literally listening to Rihanna now. Some white girl 2020 shit. But yeah, that's what I just thought. Everything does take time, and I do look back on the 6 months and think the main thing I think is those were the foundations that I built. I put everything together from 16 to 21 that I learned along the way and made it consistent day in, day out. Everything. Gym, fitness, that was the one consistency for at uni. YouTube, I suppose, was more consistent before uni. Adding that to it, adding little hobbies like adding running, adding learning Spanish. Yo hablo Kieron. Me encanta español. Some little lingo there for you, but yeah, adding all those together and then just working myself, but probably working myself mentally in the wrong way. Be a friend to yourself. You know what I mean? I don't speak to people like shit, but I spoke to myself like I was some. I guess, yeah, the mistakes I probably made, I dug at myself too long from. I'm a little bit cold right here, but I don't want to waffle on. For the most part, I just want to say, yeah, it does take time, doesn't it? Even this will take time, but as I've looked 6 months now, I do feel like a different person, and I'm ready for the summer. Hopefully, it's going to be good. Who knows what it's going to be, but just take your time, and I think always just realise days do get better. Whenever you've hit almost you think your lowest point, in some ways you won't feel it at the time, but that is good because the days afterwards will get so much better. And for me, stuff like the sun, if I had a beach nearby going to the beach, it just makes your life so much happier. And you don't realise it until you experience it. The sun has got his hat on, hip 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 hooray. It's pretty cool, isn't it? But things take time.
Don't say a word while we dance with the devil. You brought a fire to a world so cold. We're out of time on a highway to never. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Don't say a word while we dance.
And we all have our ups and downs, don't we? Look at this, a beautiful location. But realistically, November, I remember I had my first interview at Rockstar and I thought I was going to be working on GTA 6, I was getting the free GTA 6. That didn't go to plan, and for the most part I was like, fuck, that's one L. Taken so many with applications, and then round about January time I get another interview for Rockstar, and I thought the game's designed well, what I've studied at uni is the only way I'm going to get a job. It's the only thing I want to do. I guess it's passion and the other passion to this, but for the most part, this is probably the main passion because else I wouldn't have focused so hard on this. I'd have rather made fucking level design stuff, levels and all that shit. But it's weird, isn't it? Everyone has different chapters in their lives. Everyone faces different challenges, and I guess they're unique to you. Like someone else in such a worse situation. It's weird, but you just have to keep rolling with the punches and do what you want to do. Because I have that, especially from my parents. Go get a job, go maybe just get this part-time job here to get money and do this and do that. Sometimes it feels like they want me to live out their dreams that they didn't live out. And I've blamed them a lot. Or not necessarily blamed them, but I've thought just like, you don't understand. And to some extent they don't, because they grew up in a different world. There's more information out there today and you can learn from different stuff. But I have put blame on them. No, I've not told them that, but I've put in my head like, you don't understand really. And I've learned that realistically, wherever you are, you have to do it. No one can change anything, whether that's for good or for bad. It's pretty crazy. I mean, no one probably thinks like this, or there's some people that probably do, but others are saying, oh, shut up, you wanker, or whatever. For you, I just say, if you don't look at it like that, it will happen. You might be in a different chapter of life, as the philosopher says. But for the most part, yeah, I, I do look at proving my parents wrong, and I don't want to go into too much detail, but the most of it is just I don't believe what they say to me is right. In a word, like limit your ambition, limit this, limit that. They just basically want me to get a safe job, secure job, and live a life where you just do whatever you want, go travelling. As some people say, my ambition knows no end, and it does feel like I haven't really done much at the moment. I've worked on the gym, I've run a bit, but for the most part, everyone's in a constant cycle of developing themselves, aren't they? When are you the final article? I don't know. But amongst all this waffle, what I'm saying is I've decided to go down a route where it's slightly gone off path, because me finishing uni, I thought at least 2 months afterwards, I'll get a job. I'll be in the game design industry and I'll be doing what I want to do. And that was the plan. The plan's gone off. It's veered off. For the first time in my life, career-wise, it's veered off. Pursue what you want to pursue, to be honest. There's so much exterior shit of work on the gym, work on fitness, do this career-wise, do that, do this, go traveling. It's just like so much stimulus that you don't actually know what you want to do. In the end, someone can be so happy just working a job that they might not want to do for the whole future, but then it allows them to do other things in their pastime. It's just life, isn't it? And maybe not everyone says it in this philosophical way, like I'm part of the Philosopher's Stones.
Harry, where's the fucking stone, lad?
Harry?
Hagrid.
What? Unless someone who is within the field that you want to work in, if it's criticism, that's okay, but if it's just plain hate or just even your closest people, like sometimes I don't even feel like I can relate to my family career-wise or mentally or anything like that because it just sort of gets swept under the rug. It's like I'm the oldest in my family and it's like I'm the fuck up. Everyone else is doing okay, you know, if you do anything bad, so you know, whatever you do, it gets swept under the rug. Oh, you know, we'll act like we're this perfect family. No one does anything wrong, and then gossip about every other person. And I think gossip for me, unless it's someone you're really connected to and you know and stuff, why are you gossiping about fucking what Wayne Rooney's doing? Stuff like that, shit that's in the news. Who gives a flying fuck, to be honest? Only you are in your own mind. Only you know what to do. If you're in a dead-end job, I'm not saying it's dead-end, but a job where you don't see yourself being for the rest of your career, at some point you're going to have to jump. And I'm not talking about jumping off cliffs, all right? Don't get that idea. But I mean, you're going to have to take a risk. Some things require sacrifice. Some things just require discipline, hard work. Maybe you want to relax. It's totally up to you, whatever idea you're having. But for the most part, time is one of the most important things. How you spend your time. There's a quote from Chris Williamson somewhere, and he says it's not time that is the most important. It's along the lines of the use of time, how you choose to spend it, and it's just all about how you view life and what you want out of it. I have felt absolutely shit sometimes. After finishing uni, I thought, I'm going to go into this job, you know, games design is, it's going to be easy. I'm going to go straight into a job and bish, bash, bosh. Life is going to be easy. But no, majority of courses are full of shit. They just want you to get good grades throughout the educational system. They get their money. They bin you off once you're out of uni, once you're out of college. They don't care about you. The whole education system's fucked, in my opinion. And it took me going through it all and eventually coming out on the other side to realise, it is not everything they rave about. I feel like I've almost put myself in this own prison of constantly trying to prove to myself that I am capable of beating anything. And my inner voice is almost very harsh on me all the times. You're not good enough. You need to prove myself to myself. I need to get shit done so that I feel at least a little bit of accomplishment at the end of the day. But I think I'm starting to realise that the gym, discipline, ice baths, waking up at 5 a.m. If you're genuinely happy, you don't need to do any of it. I think fitness can make you happier, but to really dedicate your life to just that, you can miss out on some incredible opportunities, just like going away and, you know, maybe you're not sticking to your diet for 3 days or 5 days. It's not even that long, but some people can't do it because they're like, shit, I'm falling off, I'm not sticking to what I'm supposed to be. Life is there to be enjoyed, and when your parents are constantly asking you, have you applied for any more jobs? Have you done this? Have you done that? All you do is go to the gym and take the dogs for a walk and go for a run. You don't really do anything. You're this, you're that, you need to be doing this. You're too ambitious. Do you know what I say to them? Fuck them. It's your life. Do what truly makes you happy and do what you want. Do you know what else might have helped as well? Totally off topic of all the work and shit, but not wanking. Yes, I didn't wank for a week before I went to Manchester, and I thought during the caveman times, they wouldn't be wanking all the time to porn and all that. And it does ruin your brain a bit. I would 100% say that. Someone who's done it for so long, most people, most men out there,
you've all done it, and it does become like, you get the urge, but not doing that as often has led to me feeling a lot better. So just thinking about that, maybe it does poison people's brains. It definitely does. It's not the real thing, is it? Porn is, for the most part, 95% of it is absolute shit that you don't want to be watching, to be honest, because then so many men, whenever you start 14, 13, 12, when I think about it now, that is ridiculous, but that's when, you know, you start to experiment. But for the most part, it means a lot of guys nowadays, you see, they do not have any game. They would rather just go sit in their room and knock one out, and that's like the drive gone. That's all they care about. And you know, oh, it don't matter, I'm going to make so many excuses for not going and pulling girls and all this. I'm not saying I'm some top shagger, I'm just saying it has improved just my overall happiness. So maybe that is one other change, you know, that it just pops into my head while I'm cooking some chicken. Kieron from the future here, waking up earlier as well, 6:30, just getting stuff done earlier so that the evening could be a little bit more chill, really helps. So, yeah, we're feeling pretty good.